What's going on, guys? It's your boy J2ASMS, and I'm back with another video for y'all once again. It's no secret that today people don't have a lot of money, but that doesn't stop people from going crazy and spending a bunch of money going on trips, vacations, and buying things that they don't need and that they can't afford.
You're not going on vacation. You're in debt. You're broke.
Today, we're going to be looking at people living way above their means. I'm not a hater, and I'm not saying that people can't live their lives, but you got to do it in a way that doesn't cripple you and prevent you from living your best life actually. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a right and a wrong way to do it. You can cook fish by putting it on the stove while it's still raw, but you get a much better experience if you let it thaw out and season the meat before you put it on. Thank you so much for 100 subscribers on the channel, but 90-something% of y'all that watch my videos are not subscribed. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? We're growing a community. We're going crazy. If you don't do it for me, do it for you. So many of the things that we talk about on this channel can help you with your own life. If you don't want to become the best possible version of yourself, you're going to make me sad, man. I mean, you're going to make me cry. Without further ado, let's get into the content. Okay, let's get into it.
I am financially irresponsible. I am. It's just.
Well, at least she knows.
I don't have a savings account. I'm 29 years old, and I no longer have a savings account. I'm making the most
What happened to
minimum payments on my student loans. I graduated college back in 2018, still paying off those loans. The most minimum payments. I'm living.
I mean, to be honest, guys, that's not really different from a lot of people. Most modern plans, they'll set you up for a 10-year payback. But let's be honest, most people are paying their minimum payments if they're even paying back their student loans at all. And so for her to say that, it's terrible, but it's not shocking.
Living back at home. I don't have my own car. I obviously don't have a home. Instead, you know what I do? I buy tickets on impulse to go to Italy, to go to Europe. I use Afterpay, I use Affirm, I use Klarna. I get my groceries on Instacart for the whole buy now, pay later feature.
All the stuff I tell y'all to avoid, man.
And I don't care. I really don't.
Ooh.
Like, I'm being so for real right now.
She might not care now, but she's going to care because at a certain point, the credit runs dry. You know what I'm saying? You can only open so many credit cards before they realize that you're not making payments. And then they just start garnishing wages. And for those of y'all that don't know what that means, it just means the government, the IRS, they will come to collect what's theirs. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not paying your tax, if you're not making payments on debts that you owe, they will essentially just take the money that you get from your paychecks. They'll take it right out of your account before you even see it. If you want to take a trip, like she went to Italy or wherever she's saying she's buying these tickets for, you got to budget for it so that you can do it all on cash. Or if you do take some debts out, it's within the range of what you can afford, and not in a sense where you take stuff out and you start getting eaten up by the interest payments and start neglecting some of your actual day-to-day expenses to take trips and quote unquote live your soft girl life or whatever type of timing that she's on. What is it, girl math? Yeah. That's not the way. We can just look at some of these comments real quick. This person said, we're paying student loans with a question mark. As I said, a lot of people aren't even paying their student loans. But I mean, these are the same people that aren't paying their taxes. Eventually, Uncle Sam is going to come collect what's his. The IRS is going to come get what's theirs. And the Department of Education is getting broken down, but it ain't fully dismantled. And they want their money too. This other person said, girl, I'm living paycheck to paycheck right now, and I don't have debts or large bills, and I still can't afford to travel and too scared to do Afterpay thing for traveling, but you're influencing me. It's kind of scary that someone just going on the internet and kind of just saying stuff like this could influence another person to do the same kind of thing. It's a little bit dangerous, but I guess it is a good thing that she's a little bit scared to do the Afterpay thing or the whole Klarna, because it's kind of preventing her from getting in the same situation as this girl and never being able to do anything. You know, I feel like a lot of people don't understand. It's like the more you take those trips and build up debts and do kind of the things that you want to do to quote unquote live your life, the longer you prolong yourself from actually being able to live your life and do the things you want to do, because you're digging a deeper hole. And when it comes time to actually pay those things off, you're not going to be able to travel or do any of that stuff while you're paying it off. One more comment for you guys. She said, I'm just so tired of just existing in this damn country. I'm not trying to influence my current financial decisions onto anyone else. I just choose to meet my minimum payments and necessities to survive and take the rest of my money to live the life I dream. And I guess this came from the creator of this video. I think it's a totally fair opinion to have, like where she's just saying she's not trying to influence anyone in a negative way. And she's just meeting her minimum payments and takes the rest to live her life. But I mean, that kind of goes back to just what I said to you guys a minute ago. It's like, yeah, you're doing a few things here or there, taking those trips and living your life, but it's prolonging her from actually having the entirety of her life be what she wants it to be by doing that. It's like that example of where they tell the little kid like, hey, I'll give you 2 cookies if you just leave it on the table until I come back. I'm going to leave the room, and when I come back, if the cookie's still on the table, I'll give you another one. Or you can just eat the cookie while I leave, but then you won't get another one. And then the little kid just eats the cookie that come, you know what I mean? It's like delayed gratification has become like a lost art in today's world. And these companies just take advantage of it. And so many people just get caught in the debt trap and end up paying interest payments and just living in debt and not ever actually being able to do anything for the rest of their life. And it's really sad. But if you watch my videos, you're not going to end up like this, because you're going to take the advice and you're going to smash that subscribe button down below and join the J2 fam.
These student loans, like the calls, are really making me regret ever going to college, considering I'm not even doing anything in my degree. But like, these calls are just a reminder that I'm like, first of all, doing nothing with my life. Second of all, broke as shit. And yes, I hee hee ha ha about it here, but like, it's literally not a joke. It's like embarrassing, and
Oh, she's 28.
it's like the most stressful thing. And I never want to be the person that's like driven by money. Like, that's not me, but like, sometimes I wish I was, so I wouldn't be in the position I am in. And like, dealing with these calls and having to basically say my situation, like, I literally cannot pay off an amount on these damn student loans.
See, this is the reality, right? The other girl was saying she doesn't care, and she was, laughing about her hee hee ha ha, as this girl saying. But the reality of it is when the debt collectors come to get their money, it's extremely stressful. They call you constantly. They send letters to your house. They might even show up to your house if it's the IRS, right? If you're not paying your taxes, and you could get sued. And it's really scary, and it's affecting a lot of people, specifically younger people, right? The last person we saw was in their 20s. This girl's 28. It's just really is a very tough, sad situation that I don't want any of you guys watching this video to get caught up in. And, a lot of times it's not even crazy amounts that you'll see. Like, sometimes it'll be like $30 or $40 that some of these people can't make the payment on the student loans because they just don't have any money. It's all in debt. They're living in debt. They buy all their food in debt. They're behind in their rent all the time. They just exist in a debt spiral. She also touched on just not wanting to be driven by money. And I don't necessarily think that everyone should be driven by money in their life either. But there's a certain extent where you want to be in a financial place where you can not have to worry or get harassed by debt collectors, and you can just cover your basic necessities. If you choose to take it a step further and pursue wealth after that, that's completely up to you. But at least you'll give yourself the chance to just live a normal life and decide to make that decision when the time comes, if you want to, versus, not being worried about money so much so that you can't do anything and exist. I think that no one should aspire to have that kind of life. And that's the reality of where a lot of people are at. Ooh, this is a good comment from Maya RT right here. She said, daily reminder that just because you can afford it doesn't mean you should buy it. So that's a good point. I was saying that, like, just because you can buy it doesn't mean that you can afford it. But this is a great example that even if you can afford it, it doesn't mean that you should get it as well. Let's get into the next one.
I've noticed that there's a huge influx of broke influencers on TikTok that are begging for money, and some of them even being involved in scams. Yesterday, I saw this TikToker who had almost 1 million subscribers or followers, and she was involved in a GoFundMe scam, and the GoFundMe got shut down. And it's just like, the problem with so many of these TikTokers is that, or any influencer, is that they're living above their means. And something that my grandma taught me as a kid that I'll never forget is she said, if you cannot buy something with cash in hand right now, then you cannot afford it. Or if the money isn't in your checking.
Another good one to live by is if you can't buy the thing twice comfortably, then you can't afford it. There's a big difference between being able to afford something and just being able to make the payment on something or buying something. If you can't afford to buy a Lambo 2 times over, then you probably can't afford it. You can make the payments, but that's where a lot of people get caught up. It's like, if I have $1 million cash and the Lambo, let's say it costs $350,000, but then with maintenance and insurance and gas, you got to put premium gas in it, and all these different things come up, coupled with just your regular rent and food and just the regular life expenses, you might be able to eke out that payment on the Lambo, but then you don't have any money to do anything else. And so it's like, can you really afford it even though you can make the payments? You can't. So that's the way I always live by. If I can't buy this thing 2 times over, then you can't really afford it. And I think that's a great rule of thumb for most people to live by, because a lot of people just don't think things through. They're not financially educated, or they just don't care, as you see from some of the people in these videos.
I've seen so many scandals over the years of influencers, from YouTube or any, community that have gone broke because they start to live above their means.
I made a whole video about, influencers lying about their lifestyle and living above their means and going broke. So go check that one out after you're done here. Leave a like, smash the subscribe button. I want to go back to something that the guy said in this video. It was like right at the beginning when he was talking about TikTok.
Yesterday, I saw this TikToker who had almost 1 million subscribers or followers, and she was involved in a GoFundMe.
For that part right there, I'll tell you guys this right now. I have insider information on TikTok specifically because I have another account where I don't cover financial or motivational content over there. But anyways, I almost have 100K followers on that account. And I've made money off of TikTok. But the first thing I'll tell you is that TikTok is not a great platform to monetize off of. And that's because a lot of short form content, you're not going to make any money on it, especially like things that are very popular on the app, like comedy, clips, like anything shorter than a minute, you're not able to monetize on TikTok. And so unless you're doing live streams or promoting products or have some type of long-term sponsorship, you're not really going to be able to capitalize on getting paid on TikTok. And so it's like at one point when I was live streaming, doing live streams probably 5 times a week, maybe more, consistently, I was pulling in like $1,000 a week off of it, but I had to put in a ton of effort. I was doing like 8 and 9 hour streams, and you're just on camera the entire time. It's very tiring. It's very involved. And it's not like I had a single second of downtime. It was just 8 hours of straight streaming. And, it's like, yeah, if you talk to someone that doesn't do it, it's like $1,000 a week just to be on the internet sounds amazing. But I was exhausted. I burned myself out. And it was something I eventually decided not to stay with just because, one, I wanted to switch lanes and make more content like this where I could actually have impact and help people. But also it's just like TikTok is just not the best platform to be able to monetize on. And the amount of followers that you have on the platform doesn't directly correlate to how much money you make. And it's like, I didn't even have 100K followers on the platform yet, but I was making more money than probably this person who was getting involved with the scams did with 1 million subs just because of my work ethic and the amount of hours that I was streaming. You know what I mean? If they weren't streaming at all, they didn't promote any products like affiliate links or have any sponsorships, and the content that they were making was less than a minute, they weren't making any money on the platform. And that's with 1 million subs or 1 million followers or whatever you want to call it. So just from perspective for y'all, just don't believe everything you see on the internet and take everything that everyone says with a grain of salt, especially if it comes from the internet. Even me, like fact check me as well.
When the economy was hot, they only had lane 15, 14, maybe sometimes 13.
Car debt and car loans is insane, guys. That's like a whole different video I could make about this topic alone.
Meaning these are all repossessions. Used to be always
oh my god, all of these cars on this lot are repossessed.
Westlake used to be on lane 14, 13.
They just repossess them and sell them at it for a ridiculous price.
So all these are bank repos. All of these are bank repos.
Think about how many of these people couldn't afford to make their payments and they got their cars snatched. They got their cars.
This line forward, crazy. Over 1,000 vehicles on this auction per week. Only this auction.
1,000 cars on the lot for people that couldn't make their payments. Like, if this doesn't tell you that so many people are in debt and living above their means, I don't know what to tell you. They need to be here on this channel, smashing the subscribe button and liking like their life depends upon it. I don't know what else to say. This person said people need to realize designer clothes, luxury vehicles, and luxury goods are the biggest scam. I mean, it's facts. It's like peacock signaling almost. Let's say you got a Gucci hat. The hat itself could be the exact quality, the exact whatever as a hat that you get from Walmart or that you thrifted. But because it has that logo on it, it signals to other people that you have money. And so in and of itself, it's the same, but people perceive it to have higher value because they know, oh, in order for them to have that thing, that means that they have money because it's an expensive thing to have. It's more about status and symbolizing wealth more so than the actual thing itself. But I mean, it is a scam in and of itself where it's like they're not selling a more premium product a lot of the time. It's really just the logo and like marketing that is just super genius and a lot of people buy in.
Nothing brings me joy like living beyond my means. Sure, I could have saved up my money. I didn't need to make that impulse purchase. But you know what? I'll enjoy it. That trip that I'm going to go on later, I'll enjoy it. Those items that I bought, I'll enjoy using them. It doesn't matter, okay? Sue me. Was it a bad decision? Maybe. Okay, but it brought me joy in that moment. I know at the end of a I deserved it week, I'll feel some guilt and I'll not want to look at my bank app and I'll avoid that. But you know what? I deserved it. Okay, that moment was worth it.
He said he knew it was the wrong thing for him to do, but it made him feel good in the moment. And so he decided to go through with it anyways. And he just made a whole bunch of purposes. And as he said, he takes joy and pride in living above his means. Crazy work. Absolutely diabolical. A lot of people are really struggling with delayed gratification. And honestly, it could not be a generational thing, but it could just do with the ease of access of how so many things are available to people now in the modern world, right? It's like, think about it. If you have a question, you can have it instantly answered with Google or just going to ChatGPT for an answer. You want to watch a show, you don't got to wait for it to come on linear cable. You can just either go on some type of streaming platform or pull it up on YouTube. Food, you're hungry, you can order DoorDash instantly to your house. It'll just come to the crib. I'm trying to think, like, there's infinite other amounts of examples. Oh, you want to order something, you need something, or maybe you don't need something but you want something. You can just go on Amazon and it'll be delivered next day, even same day shipping sometimes. Like, I think that the ease of access to everything is causing people to even have less delayed gratification than what is already, what humans already gravitate towards, right? Because most people already struggle with the concept of delayed gratification and being able to put things on Klarna and Afterpay and just the ease of access, like the things that I was just saying. It just makes it so much easier to even lean deeper into the anti-delayed gratification wave. And I mean, as you see, you end up with your car repoed on a lot, infinite amounts of credit card debt, and not being able to go on vacations because you're super stressed out and crying like that one girl earlier because you don't have a car, you don't have a house, and the debt collectors is calling your house every single second. Nothing brings me more joy than easy living well below my means and having the peace of knowing that I can pay for anything that I need and any emergency that comes up. I mean, that says it all right there, man. That's the ultimate goal. And what I want all of you guys to end up being in a position to be able to do is having the peace of mind, not being in a situation where you're crying and having debt collectors call your house because you can't afford anything, but being able to pay for anything that you want that comes up that you can afford, and also being able to pay for emergencies that come up, because ultimately they will come up. Not having an emergency fund is an emergency. As I said, I encourage you guys to live your best life and do all the things you want to do, but just make sure that you're taking care of your responsibilities and putting yourself in the best situation possible so that you don't end up like one of the people in this video. If you don't want to end up like one of the people in this video, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below, drop a like on the video. It really helps for the YouTube algorithm and I greatly appreciate it. YouTube thinks you'll like one of the videos popping up here or here. But until next time, your boy J2A SMS out of here. Peace.